Shalom, shalom, family. Gabriel, Reuel, Yisrael here. Part 2 of Consider. Now, I've given some time for people to actually be able to consider the things that I was speaking of, the things that we've been speaking of, what this word means. Consider is so heavy. Let's just get right back into it. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right back into it. C, dictionary.com, 4, to scan or view, especially by electronic means. To perceive things mentally, discern, understand. Yes, this is consider. Let me give you the definition again. To perceive things mentally, discern, understand. Discern, dictionary.com. To perceive by the sight or some other sense or by the intellect. See, recognize, or apprehend. To distinguish mentally. Silence, consider, distinguish mentally. Recognize as distinct or different. Discriminate. We went over this word before. People misuse this word. You are supposed to be discriminating. How can you know what danger is? How can you know when you're being led astray? How can you know anything if you don't take the time to consider? Distinguish, in the dictionary.com. To mark off as different. To recognize as distinct or different. Recognize the salient or individual features or characteristics of. 28 moral attributes are the characteristics of Yud-Hey-Wav-Hey. You know this. To perceive clearly by sight or other sense. Discern, recognize. Again, we keep hearing these words over and over again. To set apart as different. Soak that up. This be a distinctive characteristic of. Characterize. To make a prominent, conspicuous, or eminent. To make prominent, conspicuous, or eminent. To recognize or note differences. Discriminate. This is what it means. They discriminate. I know y'all remember hearing I would say they discriminating against me. Yeah, let's go into discriminate. Discriminate. To note or observe a difference. To distinguish accurately. Come on. Marked by discrimination, making or evidencing nice distinctions. Nice distinctions. Evidence. We've been saying this. I know on my last 3-4 videos, I put a real heavy stamp on that. Evidence. A lot of people like to talk without evidence. Those of you that have evidence don't want to speak up. Elders. Not even to back up your brother. Let's continue on. To recognize or understand the difference between, distinguish, to discriminate right and wrong. To discriminate right and wrong. Between right and wrong. To discriminate between right and wrong. See how this word's being used against you? These videos have been coming out, words of spells. See how it's been getting used against you? That made you walk away from distinguishing what's right and wrong. It made you walk away from using your brain to make a distinction. It's pretty sad. But here it is. Again, we're giving you study. We're giving you words that we're coming across. We're giving you different understandings of these words. I know the American educational system makes you feel like you know every damn thing when you graduate. And sure, it makes you not want to come back to another book when you do. But I'm telling you right now, that is not the true education. It's not. When your ability to recognize or see right and wrong has been changed, the things that we're looking at today, when people can't even agree that the physical males and physical females have their specific roles and that they can do what it is that they were meant to do. No, everything wants to be changed around. Your perception of right and wrong has been skewed. The only way you take it back is when you start looking for yourself, when you start reading, understanding these words and how they're using them against you. I would be upset because they're saying you're not that smart to figure it out. This isn't the time to be stupid. This isn't the time to not be reading. This isn't the time to not be researching. And if you're researching the wrong thing, we'll put your focus back on what matters. It's been taken away from you what matters. You were teaching it in the school. The Bible's been taken away from you. Get back into it. And you see people are getting crushed under the weight of their lies. Billy Carson, look at him. I thought he was so freaking smart. I never liked him. And I could see the things that he was saying were going against the Bible. And people would discount all of that because of the way he looks. But he's a damn devil. And I seen it immediately. And look what happened. Christian destroyed him. Everything he's been talking about for years, destroyed. Sorry now, but you don't know nothing. You ain't read that Bible or the other Bible because you would know the differences and the parallels between. I'm not even going to go into all that. That's their stuff. Anyways. That was discriminate. Let's get back into C. To construct a mental image of, visualize. To accept or imagine or suppose as acceptable. To accept or imagine or suppose as acceptable. Just thinking. Why is it so difficult for people just to think about the things that we speak about? Scared? Fear? How many times have we mentioned this J name? People still hollering Jesus. Is it fear? I've given irrefutable. Other people have given irrefutable evidence as to that name being false. You have been given a false name. We said it over and over again. But why is it so hard for people to just think about it? Take your emotions out. Use your intellect. Search. Look in books. Find out. I don't just come up with 1524 was the year, the J and the V. You don't just figure out stuff like that without you going and looking for it yourself, because they're not going to tell you. What makes you think the one that's been deceiving you and lying to you forever is all of a sudden going to tell you the truth? And when you know where it's found, I mean, goodness, go to it. If you don't, you're willfully being ignorant at this point. Willfully. Your emotions are only going to get you so far. We need to be able to sit down and think. Speak with one of your brothers. See what they think about what it is that you're talking about. There's no sin against thinking, pondering. Just because you say something doesn't mean that you're saying or you're projecting everything that you say is to be fact, especially whenever you're talking about we're having a conversation. A conversation. We have many conversations about things that mean nothing. But when it comes to certain things like this, considering, keeping silent, the things that make you a better person, the things that elevate you mentally, iron sharpens iron, get wise counsel. These are the days. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end Consider Part 2 on that note. And I'm pretty positive I'm going to come back to a 3, because if any word is deserving of a 3, silence and consider go a long way for a lot of you. Then again, the only reason I say this, and the only reason we putting this message out, because we love you. Those of you who have an ear, those of you who don't, you'll figure it out, won't you? Shalom, shalom, family. And Yehovah, to the true believers, bless up.